every time we run it up, put it to if you were here this morning or weren't here. Who wasn't here this morning? First off, let's go over that. Who was not here in the morning stream when we talked about being bearish? Being bearish. Now, if you were here in the morning stream, what did I say? Who can confirm what I was solely talking about? I was only talking about one asset and one directional bias. I was talking about ETH, and what was the bias? Who was here? Actually, you're right. I was also talking about unicorn fart dust. I did talk about two assets, actually. I talked about ETH down. I'm bullish on UFD and bearish on ETH. What happened to ETH? It's like I have a fucking magic ball. A magic 8 ball. I specifically told you around 8 to 7 a.m. if this gap is tested right here, if this gap's tested, you need to short. And I specifically told you I would be adding to shorts if this is tested. And, well, obviously it was tested and proceeded to dump 5-6%. So, yeah, that's pretty freaking sick. Pat yourself on the back if you slam that. Now, I also talked about being bullish on the young bull unicorn fart dust, which is a meme coin. I've already told you guys why I'm long it. What's that? Holy shit, it's almost at 100 million market cap. I told you to buy this yesterday at 30 million market cap. Hold on, let me sign in. I'm going to sign into my Photon and show you. How can I show you this? There we go. $2,000 to $9,000 in less than 24 hours. Almost like everything came true. Buy unicorn fart dust. Sell Ethereum. And I also said, do not buy altcoins. Don't buy a single altcoin. There's no time for it. There's no reason for a single one of you to be buying altcoins right now. Also, BTC is back in its range. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo, back in its range. I honestly don't even think I'll be trading this. I want to be 100% focused on Ethereum. I'm reading it like the back of my hand right now. You still have your spot alt bag? Yes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 5 spot bags right now. But over 60% of my account is in cash, as I've been hooting and hollering about. Why you should be in cash. I mean, everyone fucking on Twitter and Instagram are yelling about buying crypto. This is the fucking place to buy crypto. I feel like I've been the only one to chat about the idea that we should probably be selling. And also, I gave you, first off, the beginning of the stream is going to be me fucking flexing right now. Absolutely fucking flexing because I gave you the tip top of ETH for, and how long have I been telling you this? I have quite literally been talking about this being our final TP for over a month. This right here on Ethereum. I've been telling you this high is where I sell everything. I will sell everything at this high. Where's the post? I'm trying to find it. Probably way back here. It's going to take me a bit. Anyways, December 6th, December 4th, December 2nd, etc., etc. There's fucking... whatever, you guys can go watch it. Go in the channel and see it. I'm not even going to go back and look. But how many of you listened and sold your ETH bag? How far? Over 10% away. We sold the tip top. Quite literally, I can say I sold the top. It is the exact price of the top. Maybe by like a few points off. How many points off? I was off by $14. I missed the top by $14. I'll take it. I gave you the top. I told you when to sell ETH. I told you when to start selling your alt bags. I told you when to start shorting. You either started shorting up here, which I said, if buy side premium populates an ILM, you short. That's a 400 point short. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. If you miss it, that's fine. Well, you miss shit all the time. Here's the next short. That's a 200 point short. You have 50% of the move made right there. Congratulations. Now, most of you sitting here are probably like, okay, cool. You called all these great moves, but what's next? Are you guys ready to hear what's next? Who wants to hear what's next? How many of you have not even been listening, first off? How many of you have not been taking anything I've been saying in the crypto markets at value and been getting fucking raped? Who has not been listening to me and been getting destroyed by the markets? Donatello says he hasn't been doing it. That's okay. I'm not mad if you haven't been, but I also want to see. Let's open up this chat room. Let's make this larger. There we go. There we go. Say, there's 60 of you in here. Actually, oh, fuck. I didn't even say we were going live. Whoops. If you have been not listening, you literally are here to pay me for my information. You pay me for my information and you don't take it. I don't know what else to say. I am fully 100% not affected by this drop. Actually, my account is higher because of this drop because I've been shorting. So, I've been telling you, you should be bearish. The fucking coin drops over 10% from the exact tip top. It literally cannot even be better than this. And the reason I'm crashing out right now is because I get slightly upset when I tell people that, hey, I'm doing this. I'm selling everything. I am going bearish. I am going to short ETH. And then if you didn't buy the meme coin, that's fine. Not a lot of you are even able to buy the meme coin, so I won't even bring that up. But if you were if you were liquidated in this, tough shit. I don't know how else let me just ask this question. Did I warn you guys for multiple weeks that there was a potential of this happening? Either it was alts, or it was Bitcoin dropping, or it was ETH. Now, Bitcoin specifically, I gave you a minor top. I told you this is where I thought the top was on BTC. I was wrong here on this is where I thought the top was for BTC. But we had a short, and then the short got set. We didn't even lose money. There's no lost money on Bitcoin short. But coming up to ETH, multiple weeks in a row, I told you guys here was the top. And I'm going to all I'm doing is telling you what I'm going to do. Yeah, you're literally here just to get the advice of what I am doing. You just want to know what I'm doing, right? Doing this for half a decade. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm selling it. If you guys are losing a bunch of money right now in this massive drop, I feel bad because why else are you here if you don't want to listen to me? So yes, sometimes I'm going to get upset like this because I hate to see you guys lose money when I'm making money. There's like a contradictory point here where why am I making money while you guys are, and I'm not all of you, I say you guys as a generalization of those not taking my advice or at least having the same directional bias, you guys are losing money. There shouldn't be this dichotomy and two different ecosystems in this form, right? If I make money, you should make money. If I lose money, I assume most of you should be losing money with me. But if I'm making money and you're losing money, there's definitely a problem there. Maybe it's you don't trust the analysis as much. Maybe you didn't understand the analysis. Maybe you didn't catch it in time, right? Maybe it's just a plethora of those. So I want to ask the question, if you kept holding your bags, do you have a plan? That's it. Yes or no. I don't care what your plan is. I just want to know if you have a plan. If you were adversely affected by the pretty bad drop. Look, this drop is pretty damn bad right now. I mean, there's coins down. I mean, some of them aren't really that bad, to be honest. Yeah, some of these really aren't that bad. Do you have a plan? If you didn't sell, do you have a plan? That's all I need to know. All right. A lot of you guys are going to be embarrassed to answer that, so just know I'm going to assume you don't have a plan. Anyways, that's my crash out. That's ETH. There's the drop. Now I am ready to give you the next piece of what I think you should do, okay? Not only do I think you should do this, I do it myself. If I say anything ever in the futures trading stream, in the crypto trading stream, it's because I am doing it myself. I will never tell you to do something or advise you to do something that I myself am not doing. My portfolio is affected by everything I say because I'm directly taking that action and engaging upon it in my portfolio. So here's the next step. If you missed everything else, if you didn't get why I was bearish for so long and etc., why I started selling off altcoins, why I have over 60% of my account in cash, and I'm ready to start buying some alts now, and that's probably the big thing. There are some alts I'm ready to start buying, and that's probably what a lot of you are here for. Let's start talking about it, okay? So first things first, Tether dominance, okay? Tether dominance. Do we have anything that has changed on USDT.D? That's quite important to us. To be really honest, no. Really nothing's happened. The only thing that I said about Tether last week was I don't expect the lows to break. That's it. That's the only thing, is I just don't expect the lows to break. And, well, they didn't break, so I don't exactly have much to tell you. Besides, I just think it's going to go up. So I think Tether will be going up here. As far as I know, I'm shooting for about 4 to 5%, and that's just going to be a continuation. So not much to change there. But on Bitcoin dominance side, we do have a slight change, and not the best change, to be fair. My assumption was last week that I believed price was going to drop from here. It was going to come up, test the CMA, test possibly this imbalance where it had these two massive wicks before. So these two wicks, 1, 2, and I thought it was going to drop. Obviously, that was not the case because we now have a daily candle with 2 hours left to go that may be closing outside this range again. Now, the problem here is that this is going to be trading into a weekly imbalance, and you have to wait even longer for confirmation. So there's not much of a conclusion to make from this besides the market's pretty fucked for alts. That's all we can kind of say. All we can really say is we believe that if dominance continues here, alts just are not advisable to be in a position on, at least a long position on, right? Now, for Bitcoin's sake, so we'll chat about Bitcoin real fast, and let's remove some of this stuff inside to clean our chart up very quickly. Okay. So we got this. BTC traded outside the range, no real fair value gap formed or displacements, and then we have obviously 2 daily closes with a sweep above some relative high, right? This relative high has nothing to the left to make sense of, so just a sweep of the previous day high, which is here. Sweep of previous day high, then a massive candle to the downside. Do I think that this daily high sweep up here really changes much? Honestly, not really. I don't think it changes almost anything. I still think that BTC is slightly more bearish. I didn't think it was going to trade this far outside the range, but given that it has, this is what I'm doing. I'm now just focusing on ETH because the read is so much better. I knew exactly where the high was going to be. Up here, we shorted all the way down, whether you shorted all the way up here, or if you shorted here, or if you shorted here. I don't care where you shorted. At least you were able to get a piece of the pie. Now, there's something fairly interesting happening. Hold on. Are you guys having trouble right now viewing the screen? Let me put the YouTube up. You guys got to say this shit earlier so I can have it ready. 1 second.
Ashley's stellar sleep cell.
Let me put it up. Hold on. I want you all to get this information. All right, where the hell is my account? All right, I got to log in this YouTube account. It's already pre-logged me out. Sorry, guys. Discord is unfortunately exceptionally bad. Give me a second. Let me go to OBS. Okay. I was bearish and I was right. Boo hoo. Instagram and X bulls. Anyways, there's that. Here's the link. All right, here's the link. If you can't see my screen on Discord, there's that. Chris P, absolutely. If I have the opportunity to, I mean, unfortunately during this period I wasn't even online. But yes, I'll post the outlooks in the channel as well if you miss streams. Okay. So same thing happened earlier. I'm gonna delete this live stream and post the recording I have, because if you're in the live stream now, then you missed out on the first 30 minutes or so. Or sorry, how long has this been going? 20 minutes of the beginning of the video. So the idea now is we were able to short and sell most of our ETH at 4,095. Awesome. That's great. We got a good price for our ETH and sold it off. Sold all of it, to be fair. The entire Ethereum bag, which is great. But that doesn't mean the job's fucking done. The job is always, there's always more to do, right? There's always going to be more to do. And what I believe is the next step is, guess what? Can anyone guess where my head is at right now? Who wants to give a jab at where they believe my head may be? I've shorted ETH. I've already short ETH. To be fair, I've also sold my ETH short for full profit. I have completely sold my ETH short. Let's do a full, I'm going to remove this. Let's do a full top-down analysis. I see you guys already putting in answers. There's a few things I want to do relating to ETH and another asset called Bonk, which I have been waiting a long time for this move. Okay. Bonk, I may slam Bonk a little hard on what I want to do with it. I'm sure you guys can kind of already see what I want. Bonk, let me just tell you what I'm doing on Bonk anyways. Full QP, A+ setup is on Bonk right now. Delivery from daily, 2 hours till close, most likely close outside the range. Daily tap plus daily gap, that's QP setup. Plus, holy cow, boys, we have one of the cleanest trendline liquidity setting up here for a nice meme coin move to the upside. So I'm absolutely looking at this coin right here to take this long. I mean, it's one of the ones this is my most recent purchase, so I want to average down on it. Okay, as far as ETH goes, full top-down analysis is what we need to do. So the previous monthly highs in earlier this year have been tapped, right? There's buy-side liquidity there. We already knew this happened. Now, there's not much for us to say there, and it doesn't matter all that much. Weekly. Now, as far as the weekly goes, last week, so the first week of December, second week of December, there wasn't much that happened. This entire candle didn't take out a higher low of the week before it. So that means we have equal lows right here. So one of the obvious draws are going to be the equal lows before the last 2 weeks. Bottom, right, there we go. Now, not only that, but if we move to the daily, also no weekly imbalances. No weekly imbalances for us to mark up. We have a daily imbalance right below where we believe the equal lows are at. So right below equal lows, you also end up filling this daily imbalance. Do I think that it's going to hold considering it's already tested 3 or 4 times? It may not. There's no guarantee here. I do think that it's going to give us another bounce, but if we check this, this is where it gets spicy. So now you guys are getting an idea of exactly what I'm looking for. Not only do we have these equal lows with this imbalance that has already been tested 1, 2, 3 times, I don't suspect that it's actually going to give us too much of a bounce here, but I do suspect a very small move back to the upside here. I'm going to describe what that looks like. And then furthermore, maybe one of our first tests ever of this daily EMA since we bought ETH on November 4th. One more time frame drop, H4. Now you might start seeing it a little bit better here. This gap is probably the most important gap that most traders in the market are going to be watching. This is sub 3,500, but above 3,000. So this is right in the middle of the range. We're going to see a imbalance tap only given if we come down and we displace through these equal lows. The one indication that this is highly probable is in the event that we lose the current EMA we're on. So 2 to 3 4-hour closes underneath this H4 200, it's pretty much over. We'll be seeing these lows. Now, I'm fairly ready to say there's a few alts that I will be buying preemptively given this bearish idea. Now, the reason for this is because I do think that given this test here in the market, we obviously have a pretty large inversion retest, which is here. I'm sure most of you already saw this. Here's our inversion retest BPR. We'll call this, for now, IFEG. If you can't see anything, click on the YouTube link. So BPR retest plus H4 200. What model is this? This is the QP. So ETH QP is at its level to long now. So the whole idea that I'm looking for is a long to make people think that this was just the dip, take out a high, and then obliterate as Trump becomes president and gets inaugurated. That's my idea, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. I do not think Trump becoming president is bullish for the markets. Are you guys ready for why? The reason I don't think Trump is bullish for the markets is reason one. The markets have already priced in Trump being president. How the fuck do I know that? Well, what happened already, and this is what a lot of people don't look into, the day Trump became president, right? Or at least was voted November 5th, 4th, all the way down here at the lows. What happened? ETH ran 60%. What happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin ran 100%. So you think that the market hasn't already priced in the idea of a pro-crypto president? And now people think, and this is the complete general consensus. Even my dad called me the other day and was like, hey, Trump's going to be president. Should I be buying more Bitcoin? I'm like, all right, that's a fucking sign. That's a fucking sign. Him and all his buddies at work say the same thing. Yep, Trump's president. We should buy Bitcoin. Well, I'm sorry, Dad. You're fucking exit liquidity, dog. Ain't going to feel too mad taking money from the old man, I guess. All the boomers. And how can I clarify and confirm this statement? Well, first off, let's say that there's a massive inflow to the ETH ETF leading up to inauguration. Well, there is. Now let's say that smart money is having a massive outflow getting closer to the inauguration. Well, that's also happening. So with this data giving you this, we have number one, an already doubling of most crypto assets since Trump won the popular vote and obviously won the electoral college and will be president. Since November 5th, we've already had a massive run. Now, as we get closer, we're seeing ETH inflows from retail and massive ETH ETF and Bitcoin ETF outflows. Huh. It's like smart money already had, the move was already made for them. The move that they wanted was already made. And you now have the entire country and Jim Cramer talking about this idea that crypto is going to be the best investment for the 2025 presidential year because of a crypto positive president. Well, I wonder what's going to happen. How many times has the public been right about a general sentiment? How many people bought Coinbase on the first 5 weeks of it being listed on the stock market? Well, almost everybody. Almost everybody. And then Coinbase ended up dropping over 70%. And then everyone didn't want to buy Coinbase when it was at $50. Who was buying Coinbase at $50? Go look in the long-term channel Discord. Look at who sent the signal for Coinbase at the lows. I'm not here to say that I have a magic ball and this is going to be correct. It obviously could be wrong, but everything quite literally points to one simple conclusion: that Trump being president is not as bullish as the market may make you think. The move has been made. Him becoming president the day of presidency doesn't mean that crypto is going to rally 30%, 40%. I'll eat my words if it does. I can almost guarantee it doesn't. I think it's a tactic to push a lot of retail into the market in order to get liquidity for larger market participants to leave. What the fuck happened in 2020? What the fuck happened in 2021 when we had a massive rally? Well, we had a huge injection of retail capital with COVID stimulus. That's what fueled the run. What is the now massive catalyst for Bitcoin? Well, the massive catalyst for Bitcoin is now a crypto positive president and an entire committee of people around him speaking positively about crypto. Seemingly, we are simulating the exact same event as 2020 and 2021, where we got a massive crypto craze for retail and then proceeded to dump on all of their heads. I can't make up this data. This data is on the charts. So you can see this. For example, 2021. What happened when we started getting massive stimulus pushes? What happened when retail started to hit Coinbase #1 in the App Store? Well, we took their money. What happened again when retail started buying back in November? Well, unfortunately, we all know what happened then. Was there obviously other things that occurred during that period to make that push? Yes, of course. However, I'm just giving you the general consensus of why I think the bearish sentiment is, and why you should have a bearish sentiment around Donald Trump's presidency. Does this make sense to anybody here? Can you see why a Donald Trump presidency is not bullish at inauguration date? Does anybody have a contrary opinion to mine? I would love to have you come up on stage. We can talk about it civilly. I wish more people didn't hold the same opinion as me so we could have productive conversation and debate. But I do want to bring this aloud that I think it's a still bear sentiment with Trump coming in. To be fair, what the markets have already done is kind of what you would expect. Like, this is the move people thought was going to happen, right? Let's say November 5th was January's inauguration day. This is what people expected. Well, if it already happened, is it priced in? That's what you need to ask yourself. And I'm not even talking about technicals at this point. Sure, we can talk about how we sold all of our ETH at the top and how we have draws on liquidity lower. Yeah, sure. But again, I want you guys to understand that fundamentally, right, in the way that markets have typically moved in the last half decade, that this, to me personally, is setting up for such a perfect moment to absolutely destroy retail once again. Look, it is not the president's job to help you make money from crypto. That's what, I mean, it's crazy to me that some people think that, hey, Trump's going to be president, so crypto's going to go up. No, essentially what's happening is they're trying to be more crypto positive to enable, hopefully, more technology from crypto to help the government. That's it. They don't care if prices go up or down. That never mattered to them. So as we come up to those days, we'll see what happens. I am definitely bearish towards this end of December, like a bloody December, like Christmas. I think that ETH probably has another 10 to 15% to go. 10 to 15% would be very nice. And then we tap some imbalance on the lower side and we have good time. I don't know where the weekly EMA is. It's way too far. I do not think that price comes that low. So that's the sentiment. Bearish till December, bearish beginning of January, and then possibly, obviously, the sentiment can change given the fact that there is technicals that show we can have potential points of interest. So right now I want to talk about technicals. Am I still a Manta? Yes, I'm. Another thing too, a lot of you keep asking about these alts I hold. I'm still holding these alts, but at the same time, none of that matters considering how much of the rest of the portfolio has been sold. One of these coins I'm looking to rebuy soon, and I'm sure you know which one it is, and I'll probably rebuy that today or tomorrow. So let's talk about ETH and what I think is going to happen today, tomorrow, and up until Friday, and probably till Christmas. I do think that a potential bounce is going to occur. Why? Well, statistically speaking, we have not retested this EMA for 43 days. So a little over a month. A little over a month, and we still haven't tested this level. I do think that we're going to have a bounce here. It would be highly unlikely that we just raid to the lows, but hey, if it happens, it happens. The way we're going to see that a position is even allowed here is in the event some sort of M15 ILM. Like, look, if price closes here and then we have price drop a little bit to these lows, that means there's an ILM here. Price closes above it, and then we take it into these highs and we price win into these imbalances, okay? Now, the next step in the real position here is to go short again. So if a retest to these highs, or you retest the order block up here, or you just retest this imbalance, either way, the true trade here is to go short once more. Victor's chart of ETH buys at 2,800. 2,800 is low, 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 low. That's one thing I can't get behind the idea of a 2,800 buy on ETH. I think that is too much of a dip. I mean, that is what, 25% from current price, plus you break the daily. I do not think that that's possible. I'll eat my words if it happens, but my personal bias says that's way too far of a drop for this market to continue its momentum. Look, there are drops that can absolutely happen that kills the momentum of the entire season. I think a drop like that will destroy the entire altcoin season and bull run we have right now. Okay? So that's sentiment on ETH. Up a bit from literally current price. I do not think price should drop much more than what it's at. I think this is the final price that ETH will be at for the next, like, this should be the low of the week here at least. All right. Any alts I want to talk about? Not many. Sol. I do not care about Sol. I don't care about any of the... To be fair, I actually don't care about any other alt except for Bonk right now just because of the setup. I don't care about Meme. I don't care about MKR. I don't care about Manta, Dust. I don't care about any of these. Actually, I'm going to take Dusk off here because I actually don't even own this one right now. I only care about Bonk considering the meme coin narrative right now and considering the sweep of this level potentially in an hour and 44 minutes. You'll have a sweep and then a green daily close above, imbalance tap, manipulation leg, and then you fill and deliver from this gap. So Bonk, best altcoin setup I can see right now. 100% best altcoin setup. The other alts that potentially have decent setups are going to be those that had pretty massive runs over the last few weeks, considering like assets like Aave. I think Sui is one of them as well. These, when they have pullbacks, will outperform almost anything. Now, don't get the best risk reward, being that most of these moves I don't think are the largest. Sui actually has fairly large moves still, and at all-time highs. So, just a hold. If you get any massive drops on Sui or Aave, these are perfect buys. I think Ondo is another one that's in this exact RWA category. Yeah, Ondo's another one that's in this category. Are you currently in spot? Yes, I'm spot on Bonk right now. Please care about Rivian. Let's see. Ravencoin. I haven't seen Ravencoin in a while. Oh, this one looks great too. Daily EMA tap. Now, definitely not. Unfortunately, definitely not the best. Just because like I would prefer like a deliver. Like maybe. I mean, I do see the order block. So order block delivery, but no like obvious gap. This is why I like Bonk so much, because if you compare Bonk to any other asset, like let's just put them side by side. I just want to trade the one that looks a little bit more obvious to me. And if you put it side by side of Raven still looks good. Nothing against it, but it doesn't look as good as a coin like this. We out of UFD? No. No, I never said I'm selling UFD. Okay, that's that. NQ also update on NQ. A freaking death candle after rates were announced. This is a 1,000-point 4-hour candle. 1,000-point FOMC candle. That's why the entire market's dumping. That's why my entire long-term portfolio is in shambles today, as we've given up, I don't know, roughly. If you look at Amazon. Amazon's daily candle today gave up over 12 days of appreciation, and a lot of these did. I mean, take a look at SQ. Nothing really happened on uranium. DDOG, nothing on DDOG really. CLSK, I've already sold this one. ASML, not much of a change on ASML. MU is actually one to update because it had ER today. And I completely forgot it had ER today. Back to the lows. I'm down about 10% on this one now. So most likely we'll be selling MU tomorrow. ARM, no change considering MU's ER. So I'll most likely sell MU for a loss tomorrow, but keep the rest of the portfolio. That most likely is going to be the goal. Sell MU, keep the rest of the portfolio. Also, our long-term portfolio, what is this? This is not the portfolio. God damn it. Hold on, I gotta sign in. No way. Did you delete the portfolio? Son of a bitch. Anyways, we're outperforming the S&P 500 and the Vanguard ETFs by like 2x. Let me see if I can pull the portfolio up here. Oh, there it is. Even considering today's drop, still outperforming given the higher risk. I think our risk metric of a our risk of a standard deviation is almost double as well. So we have double the risk of the S&P 500, but we also outperform it by about double as well. So craft almost a perfectly crafted portfolio. Now we have to start to sell off and optimize once more. So Decent returns. All right. Did UFD really work up to 160 million market cap? Looks like it did. Maybe a visual bug. Maybe it was a whale. I don't know. But we are clearing 100 million market cap. Top holders aren't selling either. Okay, I don't have much else to give you guys besides death candles for FOMC. A lot of buyback programs here. ETH bullish to bearish still. Bonk. I think you're all bullish. Someone asked about Sol. How do I find the unicorn coin? I'm in a like an insider group chat. Someone ticked me off, said, "Hey, buy this thing." I'm like, "All right, sick, I'll buy it." Also, I think it's going quite viral. What are your thoughts on CLSK? Sell it. Sell the coins. Sell the coins and stocks that are bleeding on you. I'd get rid of CLSK. I took about, I think, 18% loss on it. Where's my entry? My CLSK entry was somewhere here. Yeah, I took about a 15% loss on equity for CLSK. Also, it completely lost its daily EMA. I wouldn't want to hold it. At least my risk says that 15% loss on equity is about my max before I start cutting into long-term profit. Silver filling the weekly gap. Let's see. Silver's an interesting one, and it's obviously been pissing a lot of people off, including me. The silver shorts are absolutely loving this 50-day move. From 35 all the way down to 29, giving back every bit of gain that's granted users over the past year. We'll see. I mean, if you guys remember, we talked about silver like a week ago or something, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think you guys were asking about it here. And I remember telling you guys, like, hey, although silver's breaking out, I really do not want to buy it still. I don't think that this is any type of breakout pattern. I think if it holds above this and we don't have any like inversion that occurs from it, then it could potentially be long. But I thought this was just going to be a sweep, and it took over 4 days for it to be a sweep. But nonetheless, I mean, correct outlook to not buy silver again. I do want to get into silver and average up further, but the point at which I will, I don't know. Maybe here at the daily EMA, it has one of the strongest down close candles I've seen in a while. So I'm not exactly confident that silver is just going to prop back up today. Oil, still bearish on oil. I mean, more than anything, I mean, look at CVX. I mean, look at any oil stock. I've been bearish on oil for a long, long time. It might actually be, it might be in our favor to start shorting a lot of these oil stocks, as I think they can fall a lot further than what they're currently doing. DXY up, and it's above its previous buy-side premium. So, nonetheless, insightful to the market that DXY is getting more expensive. So if the dollar keeps increasing in value, the market's going to be bearish. Of course it will. If your dollar literally appreciates in your pocket, why would you invest elsewhere? So at the moment, this isn't looking good for the markets to move back up. And then what is this? VIX up 50%. I mean, this is also not good that the volatility index is doing this. This may be one of the largest moves on VIX this year because we've had larger moves. This is 64. Today was 73. This was August, and then the markets dropped substantially from that point. Let's see what happened during August on ES. Right here. So it dropped into the daily EMA, and then DXY lost its move over 18 days. Oh, another asset I bought today. I didn't even post this one, but I bought Driv, bearish real estate. Generally does fairly well during bad market conditions, so I'm suspecting that this will do really good over the next few weeks. Inverse leverage stock, so if you don't understand what that is and you plan to hold it, I'd say probably a pretty bad idea. So if we had something in long term in crypto, would this be a good time to sell something? I mean, if your portfolio in crypto is less than 50% cash, my personal opinion would be wait 3 or 4 days for the market to bounce, because I do think that we'll have a temporary bounce period here, and then start selling to up to 60% cash like I have. What's your idea of ICP shitcoin? Literally, we're at the seasonal point in the markets where there's most alts I don't care at all about, and you guys should feel the same. You should literally feel the same, because I've been talking about how I don't want to buy alts. I don't want to buy any of these alts. The only alts I care about are the ones in my portfolio because I'm sitting on them. But other than that, I said beginning of the stream, I'm just going to focus on ETH. I think it bounces here, and I think we have a nice end of the week. Definitely no green weekly close. Of course, I think a green weekly close is impossible at this point, but I do think a slight bounce is in order, and most people will assume that that bounce was the bottom, and then we'll go lower, and then they'll sell their positions, and that will conclude another cascade of price. Thoughts on Nvidia? I'm not a buyer of Nvidia. I'm not a buyer of Nvidia, at least right now. I still think there's value in a 10% drop. Yes, this is on YouTube. I'll post it after the stream. Okay, so TLDR, you just joined stream. We were picture perfect on selling ETH at the top. Very cool. I think that ETH, after this drop that we've been shorting, this is where you sell your shorts, and I think ETH will move up the range, inevitably tap into first or secondary imbalance, preferably the second one, which would be the breakaway down drop gap. This is the breakaway gap. Also, it's the one that delivered from the H1, so I think there's a little bit more imbalance that we're willing to test there. No market structure shift exactly to the downside yet, so I can't be the one to sit here and say that I think the markets have done a technical bearish shift, because they haven't. Although this low did break this previous high, it's not the protected low like these are. These are the protected lows, because this low is the one that started the price leg that only broke that high. So these lows will be more difficult to break, of course. That's why I think we move up and collect more short liquidity. I mean, if you're an Nvidia holder and you're up, 700% in the last 3 years, I don't think there's no reason to sell that and take the tax liability. We got to think about this. I mean, we have less than 2 weeks before the tax year ends. Like, we have to think about our taxes at this point and what we want to harvest. So if you want to harvest any losses, that's great to offset your expense ratio, but there's a lot of stocks that I'm not exactly going to sell for a profit right now. I can literally wait 2 weeks, hit my year, and then I can start to think about that. Now, to be fair, most of my stocks anyways, I don't want to sell at all for a 365-day period so I can collect the long-term tax benefits. So for any of these short-term stocks like CLSK, tax harvest loss, Uber, tax harvest loss. Oh, UNH. Oh, I forgot I bought this one as well today. United Healthcare. My only green stock today. My whole portfolio is red except for United Healthcare. So I'll probably sell MU tomorrow for a loss, tax harvest MU, and then buy United Healthcare. So that is the entire sentiment that we have for December. ETH up, down. Bonk, I just think Bonk moves up. I think that the sweep, I mean, look how important the sweep was. I mean, immediate, within 1 minute, bought back up. So I think Bonk, if you do not own BO1K, I think you'll have a good time buying it right now. Taxes, yes, taxes. As traders, we have to think about taxes a lot. We must think about taxes. We have quite a high capital gain rate. If you're not thinking about taxes yet, that's fine. Once you start making more and more, then you'll get to the point where it's a little bit of an issue every year. Just a tiny bit of an issue. How do I make this so it looks a little bit cleaner? This looks like shit. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to actually buy Bonk right now on stream. I wanted to buy or sell something on stream, so I think I'm just going to buy Bonk. Bonk, long, buys, plus average down. Now at current price, what is this? I'm just going to call it 3196. I know I'm not going to put all those zeros. Pull up with the Bonk. All right, I posted that one. Trading off the daily time frame. They threw tea in the harbor over a 2-cent tax. You got me fucked up thinking I'm going to pay a 60% short-term capital gain tax. How much of the position of 60% USD we got? We're going to take, I'm going to take 5% here, so I'll be at like 55. Here, 1 second. I'm sending a text right now. Spot buy. Yeah, this is a spot purchase for me. All right. What's the question? TP stop loss. TP is going to be equal highs. First one, 50% sell. 48, 47, and then we keep it running, obviously, to the high of the range. Stop loss for Bonk is most likely going to be a daily close underneath this gap, which we're looking at a 10% drop. We'll call it 10% flat. 10% flat drop, and I'm out. Should be decent. Yes. I mean, up to you if you want to buy it. I just bought it. Gave all my reasons why. Yes, spot. Again, spot and leverage are the exact same thing. The risk parameter doesn't change. No, you're good. All right. So I think that might be it. I do not have too much else to give. Bonk longs, ETH. If the long populates on ETH, I would take it for a leverage position, but I don't see any long yet. My bias is that it goes up. From this level, I think that the bias, it moves up, retest H4 slightly. I don't think this hits all-time highs from here. And then Bonk, exact same thing. We've slept the lows. I think it looks like one of the best alts in the market. And then long on everything else. Or, sorry, long on just the UFD. Yeah, if Discord's not working, you can go to the... you can go straight up into the YouTube right now. So... Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything left. I don't think so. That's the crypto stream for today. That's the full recording. I think I've described everything I needed. At least I have everything. My checklist is off. All right. Have a blessed rest of your day. Again, if you have any questions about today's stream, feel free to watch the recording that I'll post up, or just ask me directly. I think we should all be square. Donatello, do not say that ever again. Do not ever say that again in my chat room. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Piyush said, should I short ETH now? Piyush? It's almost like you weren't listening. It's okay. I'm not. Look, I don't want to ever get upset at anyone, but if you maybe. Yeah, not almost. You definitely weren't listening. I never want to get upset at my members, but it might be trolling. It might be trolling. I hope it is. So, I hope it is. Anywho, I'm out. I've kind of waited enough to see your guys' questions. There's nothing else rolling in. I hope everyone is prepared for whatever's to come yet. Would you get a girl for Christmas? Some electrolytes. Oh, that one might go over your guys' heads. That's a bar. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.